Hello, my name is Mark Greenberg. Sarnam Mark Greenberg. I'm a spiritual healer in Mount Shasta, California. I teach and help people with all kinds of energetic issues and obstructions. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the chakras above the head. I recently posted a video about drawing up the energy of the earth to activate all the chakras. And in that video, I include the three chakras above the head, which is part of my own practice. People often ask me, well, what's the benefit? What do these chakras do? What are they for? Because you don't read about them much. You read about the seven chakras quite often. Occasionally, you'll hear mention of this first chakra above the head, going by different names. But more than that, I've only run across one or two books that even give any mention to chakras above the head. So let me tell you my own experience and my intention in that practice. Um, for me, because we're in a world where there's a lot of density, a lot of fear, a lot of shame, anger, lower human emotions, and also astral beings who are preying on that kind of energy. So there is interference in this world. There's energies that are intentionally um, adding to that density or encouraging those lower human emotions. So for me, my intention in opening these higher chakras is primarily to keep a clear channel open, not just to the sun, but also to the center of the galaxy, which is a much larger consciousness. You know, that is a consciousness that is encompassing hundreds of billions of stars like the sun. So it's very vast and it's very powerful. It's high frequencies, powerful energy. It's also it's not just giving me access to those high frequencies and that power to be able to clear out these interfering energies, but it's also giving me information about my place in the galaxy. In other words, who I am, not just as a human being on Earth, but as a galactic being, part of this whole galaxy, and ultimately the universe. But I generally find it's far enough to go to the center of the galaxy. That's vast enough for most purposes. Um, of course, and you could say that that energy is coming from the source of creation, from the center of the universe, flowing through the center of our galaxy, through the sun, through us into the earth. That's one way to look at it. You could also say that that vast consciousness, that creator of all things, is the space that is holding everything in the galaxy and also permeating everything in the galaxy. You know from physics that even your human body or any form is 99.99% space. So if you look at that consciousness as the space, then it's always present. It doesn't have to flow from anywhere. It's already here. Those are two ways to look at it. I'm not going to delve too much into that philosophy, except that's why it's important to me. You know, in Taoism, I also posted another video about using your sexual energy to activate the chakras. But again, that is my own practice. In that video, I'm joining that sexual energy with this practice of drawing up the energy from the earth with that intention of opening the chakras up to the crown chakra and then those chakras above, because for me, it has become paramount to keep that channel open, to keep that access, not just to the sun, but to the larger galaxy, so that I have the information and that divine power to clear out the interfering or obstructing elements in this world, which are pretty much all operating at lower frequencies. Many of them are intelligent, but they are still operating at a dense level in the range that we as humans would associate with fear or shame or guilt or anger or lower human emotions. Generally, that's where they're trying to bring a person in their consciousness. If there is external interference, that they're encouraging those emotions. And humans are very easy to manipulate because we are emotional beings and we are prone to all of those emotions. We have programmed into us reactions to fear, fear-based reactions, et cetera, et cetera. So that's why I'm doing a daily practice to center, to transcend, you might say, to overcome that tendency to fall into fear, to fall into a lower state of consciousness that feels like it cuts you off from the divine source. It feels like, sometimes it feels like you have a helmet where you're not really connected to that energy. So that's my main intention in activating these chakras above the head. Each one is significant in its own way. I'll talk about that just briefly. You know, everyone's familiar up to the crown chakra. The crown chakra is what people are used to as the chakra that's pointing upward, and it's opening to receive that divine energy from above. The chakras above the head are refinements of that same principle. So in Sanskrit, in India, they call the crown chakra Sahasrara, the thousand-petaled lotus. So they see it opening with many petals. But you could interpret these petals as receptors. And so the crown chakra is opening like a vast antenna, like a very refined antenna dish, you might say, to receive these higher frequencies coming from above. When you go above the crown chakra, to the first chakra above the head, that chakra is also opening, you might say, like a lotus, but these receptors or petals are opening smaller. Smaller antenna receive higher frequencies. So this chakra above the head is receiving higher frequencies than the crown chakra. It's as if you're opening up an array of antenna to receive the higher or more refined frequencies, not just higher frequencies, but literally those frequencies at some point cross dimensions, and you're actually receiving higher dimensional energy than you're used to perceiving in this three-dimensional world. So you're starting to do that at the first chakra above the head. That chakra is also associated with the astral plane, with your dream time, things like that. So if you're having interference in your dreams, you might feel more need to clear around that chakra when you're opening it. That would be, dark energy entering your dreams. Then the second chakra above the head opens even smaller, again, to even higher frequencies. I can also associate that with the dream time, but you're getting into a little bit of a higher realm there, or a slightly higher dimension than the astral plane. I'm not going to go into too much detail into exactly what those are. I'll let you experience it for yourself, but just opening that chakra does, again, give you access to higher frequencies and higher dimensional energy. And the third chakra above the head, this is higher above your head than you can reach. It opens very small, very tiny antenna that are receiving very high frequencies. It's at this point that you are really reaching the limit of our existence here in this earth plane, not just the three-dimensional plane we're used to, but and beyond the astral plane that we experience oftentimes in dreams and sometimes in waking life, depending on how sensitive you are. Even above that, to what people would call more causal planes. This third chakra is really at the limit between our world, all the planes that influence our world, and then what's beyond that. So when you're going beyond the third chakra, or just accessing the third chakra, you're at that interface between our world and, you might say, the higher dimensions, the larger galaxy, the larger universe. So again, that's my intention in activating those three. If you go above that, and I don't really recommend that except for very advanced practitioners, and again, to do any of this practice, you need a strong grounding cord with the earth. But above the third chakra, what you might say is the fourth chakra above the head, you literally have to part the veils of this world to go any farther than that, because you are literally leaving this realm at that point. And so, you don't generally want to leave this realm. That could feel ungrounding. And again, with all these levels, there are benevolent astral beings, and there also are parasitic or malevolent, relative to our perspective, astral beings. So again, you have to take care of yourself as you are opening to higher dimensions. You want to do it in a clear state of mind. You want to feel like you have enough access to be able to clear your field if something starts to enter. If you're ever starting to receive communications that feel like they're telling you what to do, or berating you, or they feel violent, or dominating, or they're asking you to worship them, I would push those away. Those most benevolent beings in the universe are going to, or all benevolent beings in the universe are going to respect your free will, and they're only going to connect with you when you invite them, when you ask for their assistance and their help. So be very cautious about other beings that you connect with when you're opening into these higher realms. Okay, so that's the caution. Then I'm going to go into the practice. So you can do this practice sitting down, but I find it's more powerful when you're standing. So I'm going to stand up right now to show it to you that way. You know, at least try it standing in the beginning, and as you get used to it, then you can bring the energy through from a sitting position. So here I'm going to stand up, adjusting the camera so you can see me. I'll stand back here. Yeah, I guess this is good because I'm going above the head. So, okay, so the beginning of this practice is just what I explained in my other video, drawing up the energy from the earth to activate the chakras. You want to start by centering in your heart, taking a few deep breaths in your heart, making that connection from your heart chakra to the center of the earth. That will get more and more familiar to you. You'll feel the earth respond. You'll feel that energy come up. Take a few breaths just to open and expand the root chakra so you can clearly feel that loving, that nurturing, and that empowering energy that comes up from Mother Earth. I don't ever recommend doing this practice without a clear, grounded connection with Mother Earth, because going up to higher levels like that makes you feel ungrounded. And in my opinion, it could even be dangerous. You definitely want to always have a clear grounding cord with Mother Earth. So start with that, then you bring that energy up. I explained that in detail in my other video, drawing it up through the sacral chakra, through the solar plexus, up into the heart, up into the throat chakra, up into the head, up into the crown chakra. At the crown chakra, I would pause, just to really feel the opening. Okay, so when you're bringing the energy up from Mother Earth to activate the crown chakra, it opens in a very powerful and significant way. And in my other video where I explained using the sexual energy to assist with that, you could do that in this process too. Bring the sexual energy up with that energy from the earth to join in that activation. That makes the process more ecstatic. And that ecstatic energy, in my opinion, is also a feeling that is associated with the higher planes. It's not just in our world, we associate it with sexual pleasure, but in the higher planes, it's just associated with those higher vibrations. So either way, bringing that energy up to open the crown chakra fully. So you can really feel it expand much bigger, actually, than the full diameter of your head. When it's fully open, to me, it feels like a satellite dish with lots of little receptors. Instead of just a smooth dish, there's lots of little receptors. You're really open. At that point, I always connect with the sun. So I'm opening my crown chakra, and then I'm reaching up with my consciousness through my crown, making a connection from my heart to the heart of the sun, and then opening to receive that powerful and benevolent divine light that comes through the sun. The sun is a clear expression of the divine source as it manifests from the source of creation through the center of the galaxy coming right down. So I'm opening to receive that energy, and that golden light from the sun also enhances and further activates that crown chakra. Then you go up from there. Then once that feels activated, you go up to this first chakra above your head. About 1 hand length above the head is where that chakra is, at the fingertips up here. So we're bringing that light up to that first chakra above the head. The first, as you again, you're drawing that energy up from Mother Earth. The first thing will feel like it activates, almost like a ball of light. It turns on, and then once it's activated, you want to open it like a lotus. So you bring the energy up, and it opens. It opens like a flower, like a lotus. And again, then those receptors become activated. And again, that light coming down from the sun they start receiving a higher frequency. So you're receiving now more information than you were receiving when you just opened at the crown chakra, first chakra. Then you can go to the second chakra, coming up through that first chakra to the second chakra. Again, first you want to activate that second chakra, so kind of igniting it like a ball of light. When I'm doing this practice myself, I visually often see the first chakra as kind of a white ball of light, and then it opens into a white lotus. When I'm activating the second chakra above the head, it appears to me to be more of a blue ball of light. And when it activates and opens, again, it's a smaller flower, a smaller lotus. It opens in a smaller array of antennae, but in a more of a blue ray. So you're, again, bringing the energy from the earth up to that chakra, first activating, and then opening that chakra. Again, so you always want to have a feeling. Don't just rely on your visual impressions, because that could be from your imagination. You want to have a feeling of that divine light coming down from the sun, being received by that second chakra above the head, so that that's when you know that it's really open and activated, because it's receiving that energy. And so you're getting a sense of higher information, right? The sun is pouring in light, both visible and invisible light, and that light is encoded with information, just like we use fiber optics to transfer information. So you're receiving higher information as you're opening these higher chakras. You're basically opening and activating your your antenna, your transceivers, you might say, for this information. And then we're bringing more light up from Mother Earth through the first, through the second chakra to the third chakra above the head, which is higher above your head than you can reach, above what you can see in this video, way up there. Then you're activating it, and then it is opening. And this chakra is very, very small. It opens very small. And again, these colors are the colors I see. They may be different from you, but when I open this third chakra, this very highest chakra, to me, it has more of a red or a red purple energy. Again, sometimes the colors you see are depending on your own interpretation of higher frequencies, because we're going into frequency ranges that are far above the visual range here, far above visible light. So it's really an interpretation, however you see that. But again, the seeing is not what's most important. The feeling is important. You can do all of this practice without seeing anything. So when you're activating that chakra first, again, you're energizing that light, and then it's opening in very small antenna. Again, so now here at the third chakra, you're right at the frontier, right? You might say the edge of what comprises the reality of our world, or what we think of as reality. That as they say in many traditions, is somewhat of an illusion, because it's filtered, and our physical apparatus, the senses, limit what we can receive and perceive. So this is also a way to expand your perception beyond your physical senses. You're activating higher senses that are receiving energy, direct energy transmissions from the sun. Okay, so at this point, when you have brought that light up and you can feel that 1, 2, 3 chakras are open and activated, almost as if you have a big crown above your head, or again, like I said, it's more like a big array of antenna above your head. Then what I do is I bring energy up from the earth, through the crown, through the first chakra, through the second chakra, through the third chakra, right up to the sun, through the sun. From the sun, I go right to the center of the galaxy. So the sun is part of our galaxy. The sun is you're following a pathway, in other words, that's familiar. You know the earth, you know the sun, and the sun is part of the galaxy. So you go from the sun to the center of the galaxy. To me, that always feels like a vast space, but some people do see it as a large central sun. However you see it, it doesn't matter. You don't have to see anything. You can just feel like you're connecting. That's really the main part. It's just an intention of connecting. And I don't recommend sending all of yourself out there as an astral travel. Just send a small beam of light, you know what I mean? A very small portion of your consciousness through the sun to the center of the galaxy, just to connect just so you feel like you're making that connection, and then open, just like you do with the earth, just like you do with the sun. You're sending your love up to I think of her as a mother, the galactic mother, the center of the galaxy. Again, it's a living consciousness, and so you can personify it. That usually helps me. And then open to receive the response. You'll feel something. You'll feel something come in that feels different than the energy from the sun. It will feel softer, because the galactic mother or the galactic presence, it's a very, very vast presence. It's embodying all kinds of higher frequencies and higher dimensions. And so when you're receiving some of that, it feels softer. That's the higher dimensional energy that feels softer. It feels gentle, it feels loving, and yet because it's at a higher frequency or a higher dimension, it feels completely dissolving of any dense structure that would enter your field. It's at this level, when I'm connecting to the Galactic Mother, that I feel so clearly how love and power are one. Because here you just feel it that way. It's gentle, it's loving, and yet in its gentle, loving way, it's completely dissolving of dense structures. It doesn't take any effort, there's no force, because it's just at a higher frequency. So those structures just dissolve in its presence. Very gentle, very loving. So that's a brief introduction to these chakras above the head, what they're good for, and how you can access them. And if you want more information, I have many students. You know, I teach these techniques on a one-on-one basis. There are some things like this that I can teach, you know, to a class that are general principles. But when it comes to your own practice, then I need to work with you as an individual, because I have to work with the blocks and obstructions that are specific to your energy field. And that way it's a somatic experience. It's not just an introduction like this. I'm really guiding you through the process. And when we come to some obstruction in your energy field, I show you how to get through that obstruction so that you can go higher and higher in the process and really be effective in it. If you're interested in that, please reach out to me at my website. My name is Saranam, and my website is saranam.us, SARANAM.us, not .com, .us. And I have more videos there. Some of them I mentioned in this video. And yeah, and I offer to anyone a reading or a free assessment of your chakras, so I can tell you in real time over the phone what I see in your energy field, what I see as the current state of your energy field, and if there are any interfering cords, et cetera, et cetera. I do that for free. So reach out to me, and I'm happy to help you. And yes, and like I said, if you want to learn more, I also have many, many students that I teach in a one-on-one way, a mentoring like this. So you can reach out for that as well. All right, many blessings on your spiritual path. I'm glad I could share this much with you today. Bye-bye.